Hello, and welcome to the Arena Battle Champions patch 10.2 discussion. This is NKL, also known as Nick, and I'm joined by Don, better known as Kamuji. Why don't you say hi for everyone, Don?
What's up?
Hey, yeah, thanks for joining me here. So we're just going to go through the patch line by line and just see what has changed. So the first things that have changed are the heroes, which is there's only one of those, and it's Ginette. So they changed Bramble Blossom. They reduced the number of damage ticks to 4 when it was 8. They increased the time between damage ticks to 1 second. It was 0.5 seconds. Increased the damage per tick to 37.5% of your attack damage when it was 18.75. So that's a lot of words, but all that basically means is it still does the same amount of damage over the same course of time, but it just ticks slower, so the damage tick, um, you know, twice as slow as it used to, which it really shouldn't change that many interactions. There's some small things that might change, like, if someone would have died in the last zero point 0.5 second tick, maybe like they'll have an extra zero point 0.5 seconds to live if their health was that low. Conversely, if you know, someone might get hit, someone walking into the AOE might get hit by the last tick of damage when prior they might have only got hit for like half the damage walking in a little quicker. But I don't know. Do you notice any major change after playing Ginette post patch?
So if you have talent 10, like the bigger tick damage is a good a bigger heal, so you can kind of get out of certain situations when you're like super low HP.
Mm.
Other than that, it wasn't really much of a difference.
Yeah, it definitely is noticeable with the talent 10 getting just bigger
Hmm.
chunks each time. So
Yeah,
there could be situations where you might die on the zero point 0.5 second when you would have got like half a heal or whatever before you're dying. So it's really fringe situations that probably don't come up in like maybe one out of every 100 to 200 games, something like that might play a factor, but I don't
yeah,
really think
nothing
it's
big.
going to change much. So, I mean, that covers all the heroes that change, so I guess we'll go into the
Wow,
items. Yeah, well, I mean, I think overall I'm pretty happy with the balance of everything, so I'm fine with heroes not changing that much.
that's
But
true. Mm.
so we'll go into items. The first item that changed was Fidget Stone. Uh, so now it has got a 9% buff. So, at the minimum, it starts at 25%, it goes to 29%, as opposed to starting at 16 and going to 20. So, 9% is a decent, that's not a
Agree.
negligible percentage. But have you had any playtime with that yet?
It's nothing amazing.
No.
It's nicer than before for sure, but like it's not something I'd pick over anything else.
Yeah. So you feel like you're not gonna. It'll still be the same situations you would have picked it in the past. You'll pick it now, which is very rarely. Or there's no like.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Gotcha. I guess what do you think about Fidget Stone compared directly to Health Potion? Because I feel to me those are like the two most comparable items as far as like keeping yourself healthy against poke or just damage champions. Like which of those two would you end up
Mm,
taking if you had to pick between them?
it usually depends on like how the game's going. Like if I know it's a very even game where I do get hit a lot and I'll have to go into the bushes and heal, of course I'll take the fidget stone. But if it's a game where I'm like dominating, I'll probably pick the potion just so I can have extra like oh
Pressure.
what's the word? Pressure, yeah.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. For like if I'm playing Ron or Bronson, which I rarely do, I would think just having that extra like
Heal
surprise HP for
completely.
pressure seems a lot more valuable. I do think
Yeah.
in when I normally play range champions, and if I'm against a silver or Ron specifically, it's
Hmm.
really important to just like stay topped up on your HP as much as possible because you never want to get like poked, like, kept getting poked down and not ever being able to heal. So I think I can see myself picking Fidget Stone against those champions, but I'm not sure if I'd
Yeah.
pick it any higher than I used to, anyways. But
It's somewhat more valuable.
mhm.
So,
All right. Well, Links of Sealed Fate is the final item that changed. So now the seconds don't scale with levels. It's always going to be a 4-second survival after dying, but now it can only trigger every X seconds. So it starts at 80 seconds at level 1 and goes to, or sorry, it starts every 100 seconds it can trigger at level 1, and then level 5 it goes to 80 seconds. Every 80 seconds it can trigger. So, I mean, this seems like kind of a big deal to me, but what do you think, Kamuji?
Mm, I do like the idea of it getting nerfed, so that you can only trigger every few seconds. And I do like how like it's a fixed amount that you survive for, because before you have to level it up to get this more seconds. I like this nerf because a lot of people were running Lynx last season, so
Yeah, it's
mm,
definitely another nerf to like melee melee champions kits. I feel like Bronson and Ron. I feel like will be hurting the most from this.
rest in peace, Autumn.
Yeah, Otto barely plays anymore. Yeah, but
That's true.
yeah, yeah, I don't know. Also a lot of the synergy with revive potion is gone now because you can't just like if you revive
Keep,
and then die again, you don't have like an extra 4
yeah,
seconds right away. That's never really gonna work. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, people are gonna have to play with around with it now, but it's definitely significantly worse. It's less time at max level now from 5 seconds to now 4 seconds, and now there's a
mm,
cooldown. So I think a lot of people will be happy about this nerf who aren't named Automaton, but yeah, it is gonna hurt Bronson and Ron for sure.
yeah.
So that's all like the real balancy change stuff that happened, but what is almost more exciting is the bug fixes, just because we were so plagued by bugs last patch. So I'll read through them here. So there's a bug with Bronson where the ancestor skin was giving off the special ready glow by default. That's the Triceratops skin. Um, they fixed an issue that caused the special button to be unresponsive at times. You may have noticed having to click it 2 or 3 times to just get your special to fire. A lot of people were reporting that. It fixed an issue that caused some oversized heroes to appear during a match. That's a bug I unfortunately never saw, but it looked really funny in screenshots.
Mhm.
And of course, as always, they made various improvements to AI behaviors, which are completely unnoticeable to
Yep.
anyone who plays. But um, and the one they didn't mention, but seems to be the case based on initial testing, is that there's no more. If you queue ranked with a team, you used to get a bunch of lag in between games last season if you didn't relaunch your app. Now that seems to be gone now. I know you were playing ranked all day. Can you weigh in on that?
Yeah, there's no like nothing. I guess even when I reached Legend, it was fine. I was experiencing a little bit lag, but I wasn't sure if that was just my connection.
Yeah, and there was
Uh,
one match, like I played one match with Alex and then requeued immediately
mhm,
afterwards. And the second match, I did seem like my FPS was lower than the first match. I'm not sure if it was like
yeah,
lag, but I feel like I don't know. It seemed like the FPS was slightly lower, but I just kind of have to. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. It's definitely not as bad as it
yeah.
was, which was completely unplayable. So,
Yeah, we couldn't even re-queue. They wouldn't put us in queue together. It was pretty bad.
God, yeah, it's. I know it's kind of just sad that the sad state of affairs where like the thing I'm most happy about is just fixing bugs that should have been fixed like at the beginning of the season. But
Yeah.
it's
Well, Mesa didn't even address it in the patch
I
notes.
know no, it's just well I guess we can
Strange.
I don't know if there's anything else you need to say specifically about the bugs, or maybe we can just talk about the state of the game as a whole.
We can just talk about the state of the game.
Okay. Well, uh, it's gonna kind of a. I mean, it's all subjective, but it seems like there's less people playing, and clearly we haven't had new content in like 4 seasons now, or like we haven't had a new item or champion. I guess I should be specific in like 3 or 4 seasons, and I think a lot of people are getting burnt out. Um, any thoughts on
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, every season now is starting to get kind of repetitive, where you just try to grind a legend and then you just sit there.
Yeah, I
That's,
feel like 2 seasons ago you could get like really good teams of like strong players to play against each other, but last season with all the bugs, like who would ever want a team queue, and now it just seems like we don't have that many players left, and I can't blame
yeah.
them really, but I guess
All
I'm
we can hope for is next season to be better.
yeah, and I'm still probably gonna play throughout this whole season to get keys. I know me and you are
Yeah, of
both really
course.
close, kind of, to maxing our accounts now, so at least it's something to
Yeah,
work towards.
pretty much.
But yeah, give us some new champions or something, Square Enix.
Please.
It would be great. And yeah,
Or even just like a new map or something. I don't know, something. New game mode, anything, man.
yeah. Then I guess we can maybe talk about. Did you feel like the meta changed at all last season, or could you even tell if there was a meta because of the lack of players or
Uh,
anything like that?
well, definitely Jin jumped up, right? So because of Auric getting nerfed, and now with this Link's getting nerfed, like range characters are on the come up.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, range characters don't have to be afraid of unkillable or undead Bronsons anymore. So
Yeah. Damage builds are more common now. See a lot of people running Saber and Hero's Bane
hmm
on like heroes you wouldn't really see it on, but yeah, it's nice to see that.
yeah, true. And I really didn't see much of like the Donis Peter comp last season. I feel like it's mostly just because people weren't partying, so most people are just playing like solo queue builds. But I
Yeah,
mean, I would think that would still be strong, but it's hard to tell when we don't have any team play really, or haven't had any good team play.
yeah,
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that about covers it. It's kind of a
pretty much.
shorter podcast this time. But anything you want
Hmm.
to shout out or anything at the end here?
Uh, I'm going for rank 25. Hurry up and fill up the legends.
All right, yeah, start in rank 1, work all the way to rank 25, and
Yeah, hurry up, fill it, guys.
thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to subscribe, and if you watched all the way to this point, why don't you flame Azukita and Automaton in the comments for not showing up? Then so then we'll know if you watched the whole thing. Well, thanks everyone, and see you next time.
As usual.